Hello guys, check this. Infinite blinding explosions. That's right, blinding explosions. This build is awesome. If you love to play mostly with your Kinect weapons, this build is for you. You can use so many good weapons with this build. In my case, I really like Hawk Moon, and it just shreds. And it's amazing with this build. That last shot hits like a truck. And now it can make enemies explode and enemies nearby will be blinded. It's so strong. And all of this is possible because we are using Chromatic Fire as our exotic of choice. So precision final blows from Kinect weapons create an explosion that deals damage in the element of our subclass and applies elemental effects. Basically, what this means is you have Firefly. When you precision kill someone, you create an explosion, but now that explosion will have an elemental debuff corresponding to your subclass. So if you're on Arc, that explosion will blind enemies. If you're on Solar, it will apply Scorch. If you're on Stasis, it will apply Slow. On Strand, it applies Sever. And on Void, it applies Weaken. It's an amazing exotic. And when I thought about this build, honestly I was thinking about Void. But the constant blinding is just amazing. I tried this build in a couple of GMs, Legendary Lost Sectors, Legendary Onslaught, and it did really well. Of course, you have the super meta builds like Phoenix Protocol and Orpheus Rig right now for Onslaught, and honestly, those meta builds, they are just better. So don't just go and delete them all just to try this one. No. My thing with this build is, what if those meta builds don't suit your playstyle? I'll give you an example. I do a lot of GMs, a lot of Sherpas on Grandmasters, and sometimes I see people and they are using Phoenix Protocol, which is amazing, one of the best exotics in the game. And when you have Phoenix Protocol, you are supposed to use your super a lot. But sometimes they hardly use it. I did one GM once. One player had a Phoenix Protocol. He used it once, one time at the boss. And sometimes you see a Strand Titan, which is a meta build, which is amazing. But you see players with a Scout Rifle in the back of the map using a Strand Titan with Synthecepts. They are supposed to be surrounded. So you see what I mean? Sometimes good builds don't suit certain playstyles. So this build is for the type of players, and I get this a lot. A lot of players tell me, hey, I like your builds. The thing is, it's all about abilities. And the honest truth is, abilities are the strongest things in Destiny. But some peoples, they just want to play the shooter aspect of the game. They want to shoot their weapons. And Destiny has an amazing gunplay. So let's create a build for players that want to mainly shoot their weapons. And when they do, they will see a lot of explosions, a lot of blinding explosions. Enemies won't shoot back because they're blinded. And you have so many options. Right now, with the brave weapons in the game, the ones that drop from Onslaught, they are the best in slots for a lot. You want the Ungjury with explosive payload and kinetic tremors? Now you have Firefly. Now your Ungjury will blind targets when you kill them with a precision kill. Midnight Coup, you don't know which role you should save? Save one with explosive and kinetic tremors. Now you also have Firefly. And I could go on and go on because there are so many options. I tried this with Outbreak Perfected, loved it. I love Outbreak Perfected, what an amazing weapon. I also tried this with Crimson. I don't remember using Crimson on PvE. I think I used it on Spire of Stars, so it's been a long time. There are so many good options, and honestly, let me know in the comments what weapons would you use with this build. So with all this in mind, let's check the build, guys. We're going to use Chaos Reach just because it's a better DPS super. Healing Rift, so you have survivability. I like Straight Jump. And I'm going with Chain Lightning. I just want to play it differently, and if enemies rush at me, I melee and I jolt them. I'm going with Pulse Grenade, just very good grenade, and aspects wise, Electrostatic Mine. When you defeat targets with arc abilities, or jolted or blinded, you create an Ionic Trace, and that Ionic Trace will make you amplified. The thing is, you're gonna kill lots and lots of blinding enemies, so you're gonna generate a ton of Ionic Traces, and Ionic Traces also give you abilities. And second one, Arc Soul. Arc Soul is just amazing. You put your rift down, you and your allies that step in the rift will get the arc body, and your arc soul will just shoot at enemies, and when you're amplified, instead of 3 shots it will shoot 5, so even more damage. It's like an extra player on the field. At normal content, my god, it destroys. Like, it's really strong. On our fragments, I went with Spark of Resistance. While surrounded by combatants, you are more resistant to incoming damage. It's a 25% damage resistance while surrounded. Spark of Ions, when you defeat a jolted target, it creates Ionic Trace. And Spark of Shock, your arc grenade now will jolt targets, so it procs Spark of Ions. And last but not least, Spark of Amplitude. Rapidly defeating targets while you are amplified creates an orb of power. You're gonna be amplified 99% of the time, so you're gonna generate tons of orbs. It has a small cooldown, but still very worth it. Try to go for 100 resilience and 100 discipline, and then what you can on recovery. Mods wise, on our helmet I went with Heavy Ammo Finder and Heavy Ammo Scout. We are going to use our primary a lot, and most probably exotic one, so you're going to generate a lot of heavy for you and also your allies. And Kinetic Siphon, so when you multi-kill with your weapon, because we are going to use a kinetic with this build, you're also going to generate orbs of power, so this helps you and your team. On our gloves, let's go with Impact Induction. When you cause damage with a power melee, it reduces your grenade cooldown. You're seeing a different one on the screen because I changed it later. And Bolstering Detonation, it grants class ability energy when you cause damage with the grenade. And Kinetic Loader, it just helps your weapon to load even faster. On our chest, an exotic of choice, we're going to use one resist mod each. One solar, one void, one arc. You can custom it to all the activities you are playing, but for general gameplay, I always use it like this. On our boots, we're going to use 2 kinetic weapon surges. So now, when we are charged with light, our kinetic weapon will do 17% more damage. We want it to feel stronger. And I saved one slot for recuperation, so when we get the Orb of Power, we get health back, so it adds a lot of survivability to the build. On our class item, I love Proximity Ward. I can't do a build without it, honestly, so I need it here. If you don't like it, if you don't do much finishers, you can swap it. I love Proximity Ward. Then let's go with Bomber, so when you use your Rift, you will get 12% grenade energy back, and Time Dilation, so now your surges will last longer, so more time doing more damage. And guys, this is the build. Try it, play with it a little bit, and let me know in the comments what weapons you are using, what you think about it. I know it's not going to replace Phoenix Protocol and Sunbracers and all that, but I truly believe that for a lot of players, this build will be amazing because it will suit their playstyle. And well, that's it guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a subscription and a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.